Thank you very much, CPH Hits. Fantastic. You can see that we're appealing to the younger audience. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow presidents and immediate past presidents, and I have to say that because I'm about to become an immediate past president. Welcome to Copenhagen. Welcome to the European Pain Federation 10th meeting on pain in Europe. It's great that you're all here. We're going to have a great time with science and a great time with partying, as you can see. And the first thing I'm going to do is just say a few words about the actual federation itself, the European Pain Federation. Is that slide that I see on here projecting up on the screen? Oh yeah, we have it to the left, okay. So that's our name, the European Pain Federation, which you know as EFIC. So what is EFIC? What is the European Pain Federation? We arose from the European EASP chapters in 1993. The first president and founder was Ulf Lundblom, who passed away on the 15th of January this year, very sadly. We have a memorial lecture to Ulf tomorrow, and Fernando Severo is going to say some words about him. Of course, he has my utter respect. We've published an obituary for him. We've mentioned this on the website, and he was a wonderful man and a great friend. And I can actually remember, and if Per Hansen is here, he will bear me out on this, Ulf falling into a bush into my home in Prenton in Liverpool after a particularly good night, remembering Sam Lipton. So he was a great character. We are the European Federation of EASP chapters, but we changed our full name to the European Pain Federation in 2013 to make it clear what we stood for, because when we're talking to politicians, we need that hit that we're doing pain. And interestingly, Manfred Zimmermann told me that they were considering this name way back in 1995, so this is a little bit of progress, but late on. EFIC is still sometimes used, and it's still on our logo. We are 37 constituent chapters from the countries who are EASP members throughout Europe, and including, and not least, Turkey, Israel, and Russia. Okay, so we represent over 20,000 healthcare professionals who study pain and treat patients with pain. And we do a lot. We have a lot of activities. This is a list of the activities. Because time is short, I'm not going to read these out in full, but they're all things that we do, and they're all things that are important. And what's more, we do it without you paying a membership fee. And I want you to remember this is the best free pain society in the world, okay? You can find out more about, if you don't know about these things, you can find out more about them at our EFIC booth, and I'm going to remind you about that at the end. That's one of our pain schools in Klagenfurt. It happens immediately after this meeting. And there, crouching down on the ground, you'll see Reinhard Sittel and Rudi Lickar, who run this school for some time. And above them, me, and to my left, a counsellor. And up at the top, you can see the chair of our education committee, who's sitting on the balcony, not really engaging in thinking about what's going to happen in the near future. Andreas Kopp. Thank you, Andreas, for being up there and with us. We do many important things in Europe. One of the most important things that we do is the SIP Symposium, for our focus groups in the European Union Parliament. And out of that has come many good things, including a platform on the social impact of pain, which is just starting, which is very exciting for us here in Europe. And another thing that came out of it was the realization of a need for education, not just for anaesthetists, not just for neurologists, but for all doctors who treat pain. And we produced, since 2014, a core curriculum and a diploma in pain medicine. And in fact, we're very proud of that curriculum. You can get that on our booth, and you can also see it on our website. And again, I want to tell you that there's no membership to pay. If you're a member of your individual chapter, you're already a member of EFIC. If you're not a member and you can't become a member, or you live in Malta or somewhere that doesn't have a chapter, you can become a contributing member or organisation, and we have some of those, not a huge amount, but it allows people who are unfortunate enough not to have a chapter to be involved in our work. That's the website. Please go ahead and look on that. There's a lot of great information. But most of all, importantly, at this meeting, we have a Federation booth. It's a big booth, has a lot of information, it has coffee and helpful staff, but importantly, it has cow cash. Do you know what cow cash is? Okay, it's money which is used in the market here on Friday night for you to get food and drink. So if you're a poor, young healthcare professional, student, doctor, researcher, and you need some help, or if you're a consultant in the cash-deprived times that we have today, do go to the EFIC booth and earn some cow cash. So that was my first duty, to tell you a little bit about what the Federation does. And my second duty, which is a great honor and a privilege and really very emotional to me, is for me to become from the president to go to the past president. But the nice thing about that is I can welcome in a super person, a super new president, and that's my function here today, is to welcome Bart Morley on as president of the European Pain Federation. Bart, please come on the stage.
Hi, Chris. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chris, for this very kind words. And I really want to thank Chris Wells for his outstanding presidency over the last 3 years. And you could witness what he all realized over these last 3 years. And I think he earns the loudest applause of this evening. Chris, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really my pleasure and a great honor to welcome you on this 10th Pain in Europe meeting starting today here in Copenhagen. And I'm really glad that so many people are standing in the back. That means there is a lot of interest, but I can assure you, you can find some empty spots because we will have great music during this opening ceremony. And then I want to get over immediately to new presidents give new flavors. And one of the things I will recall of our immediate past president, Chris Wells, you heard maybe about the flying doctors. So he was the flying president. He did last year 121 flights in Europe to support all national chapters, to be present in every national meeting. So he put a lot of effort and time to really support and bring forward the cause. Maybe you noticed already, I like to take risks. And I took the risk to replace a piano and some string quartets by a great band. And this is, maybe a risk, but I hope that you would like it, because I want to give you the flavor of my motto of my presidency, which will be the European Pain Federation on the move. And that's one of the reasons I'm very happy that we could convince them to support us during this opening ceremony. Thank you very much indeed. And you will hear much more of them, and they will also give a lot of atmosphere during our opening reception. Of course, this hasn't been possible, and the whole historical growth of the European Pain Federation, thanks to all the people who have been engaging, who have spending so many free hours over many years towards the Federation. And I would forget people if I would start putting names now towards. But I really want to thank at this stage, maybe you're not aware of it, but yesterday we had elections within our council, and we built a new executive board. This will be my board for the next 3 years. But of course that means that also people leave the executive board. And we will commemorate, and we will have a special occasion during the program of this Copenhagen meeting to put tribute to these people. But I want to especially thank the past president. So now Chris is the immediate past, but the past president, Professor Hans Kress, thank you very much indeed. And he was my mentor. I learned a lot of him. Thank you. And then, of course, the Venkatspark, and even after 3 years, I still cannot manage to pronounce her name correctly, but she knows, for me, it will remain Rinevenka, very short. Thank you very much indeed. And I welcome all the new members of the executive board, Thomas Töller, Magdalena Kopczyk from Poland, and then people we know already, Elon Eisenberg, who will continue his honorary treasurership, and then Brona Fullen, who will is now the honorary secretary of our federation. A question I got over the last days is, Bart, tell me, what do you want to achieve over the next 3 years? So let me disclose a little bit of my plans. And you know, we are a very democratic organization. We discuss every point in an executive board. We take it to the council. Nevertheless, I do have some ambitions. And one of my ambitions is, by all the advocacy work I did on behalf of the European Pain Federation, within the European institutions, and working together with many people, I learned one thing, which I was not fully aware of its importance before I started working within NEFIC. That is, we should never talk about people who are not present. What I mean is that I learned from patients, do not talk about us without us. And that's important. I learned the importance. So I want to head with the European Pain Federation towards a patient-inclusive organization. We have these meetings, we do this research, we do the clinical work. It's not on our behalf, it's for the patients. So we should try to get them more closely related within the federation, and not only in the advocacy work, but also into education and also even research. That's one of my major goals. So let's get away from this silo thinking and let's integrate this. A second point I will need to do is to consolidate all the actions which Chris set up, our diploma, the new pain schools, and so on. So this will give me already a lot of work to look forward, that we have a solid organizational model to continue this. Another point which I want to address, and which would maybe be new for the European Pain Federation. We're talking since many years about the management of pain, treating pain, helping patients, but I think we're grown up enough to think also how can we prevent pain. And I'm not thinking about secondary prevention, how do you prevent that a pain after a surgery becomes chronic. No, I'm really thinking much broader. Isn't it necessary, if you look at the prevalence of for instance, musculoskeletal pain, that we take action also and do advocacy work for primary prevention. And then I'm talking about kindergarten, primary school, it's about education, it's about lifestyle, and I'm convinced that we could prevent a lot of the issues patients are dealing with if we would strengthen also this primary healthcare. So that would be one of my important goals over the 3 years. You can judge me after 3 years in probably Amsterdam when I will have to hand over and become immediate past president. But over the next 36 months, I will go and work hard to achieve these goals. And I can announce you that this is only possible with professional help, and I'm very glad that the executive board yesterday decided to expand our office with professionals who will work on the field. Chris installed already Sam Kinman, an important, and you will see him during the whole meeting running around. He's the guy with the his smartphone and giving the papers and telling us where we have to be. Crystal, of course, you know since many years, and she will further support her in her secretary role, and you will find her at the booth. And then, before handing over for the next item today, I want to do an appeal to you. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, friends, please let us know what the European Pain Federation can do for you. Ventilate this, put it on a paper, give it send us a mail, give it to Crystal at the booth. Let us know what we can do for you. And then more importantly, I want to invite everybody, reflect on the following questions. What could you mean for us? Most of the organizations, like our organizations, have to count fully on the free time of many engaged people. And we're such a large community. I know that in this room, many people are eager to work with us. They have expertise, they have knowledge, which could help us forward in achieving our goals. Come forward, present yourself, we will take contact and we will explore. There is for everybody also a very active role within our federation. So this is a warm invitation to present yourself, and we really want to expand and engage more people within our federation. I thank you very much for your attention, and now we will continue the program, and I will hand over back to Chris, because he set up the European diploma, and so it's really his honor to present the first prize for the diplomat. Chris?
Thank you, Bart. And this is a very special honor to be allowed to do this, and a very special award to give, because this is actually the prize for the best candidate at our exam. And this is going to be an annual prize for the best candidate each year. But this year, we had the exam in March, and the winner was Nicholas Varela. Nicholas, are you here in the hall? Come on up, and well done, Nicholas Varela, for winning.
Congratulations.
And I know that Ulf Lundblom would have been very proud and pleased to see this, because he was especially interested in young people and education. So it's a great way to respect and honor his name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. I have now the honor and the pleasure to invite the chair of the Scientific Program Committee on stage, and Thomas, I'm very happy to see you. Professor Thaler spent a lot of nerves and a lot of hours, free hours, to make the best program ever. So congratulations and thank you, Thomas.
So exactly 2 years ago in Vienna, I promised you that the Scientific Program Committee would do its very, very best to provide you a nice program. And I thank every single one in the program committee that he worked very hard to get this. And I thank, of course, all invited speakers and chairmen. This is 147, and all people that have submitted posters, which is then the background, the backbone of our scientific program. I want to thank also the executive board for continuous support, and I want to thank Crystal Gievels and Sam. I think they are our sharpest weapon in the head office. And of course also Kenneth, who helped us to bring this to paper. I will not go into the details. You have had the program in front of you and you will decide. What I want to see is that nobody is out in the lobby when the program is running. Ultimately, I could find you in the poster area. So you know, I will go around and look for you. Thank you. Have fun.
And of course, such a large meeting, we are hosted here in Denmark. And that means we also have a local organizing committee who was very helpful also to organize the band and so forth. So I want to invite Professor Thomas Graven-Nielsen on stage to welcome you on behalf of the local organizing committee.
Dear colleagues, it's a great honor and pleasure welcoming you here to Copenhagen and welcome you to Denmark. You have arrived here in Copenhagen, which is one of the oldest capitals in Europe, with an exclusive royal touch. Copenhagen is actually a vibrant and progressive city which thrives on a mixture of its beautiful medieval city center, brave and new architecture, a rich cultural life, and also an extraordinary culinary scene. We surely hope that you will have time to enjoy Copenhagen as well as the scientific program. There will be free time for that, I'm sure, Thomas. I would also like to thank my colleagues in the local organizing committee, including Gitte Handberg, Anne-Marie Hegaard, Lone Kristrup, and Troels Dahlin Jensen. And your contribution to this committee has also been highly valuable. In the local organizing committee, we have suggested various suggestions for social activities. I will not go through all of them, but I will actually mention and like to highlight the networking dinner taking place this Friday. This year, we have, together with the EFIC Executive Board, taken a very brave move and planned a completely new format for the networking dinner. This will take place in one of the must-visit places of Copenhagen, the Copenhagen street food. This is on a small island called the Papirøen, or the Paper Island. This is a waterfront warehouse and is situated very close to the Copenhagen Opera House. And it has installed 30 food stalls providing dishes from all over the world. And it's not all about food, it's also about art. There are art installations and outdoor events which add to the creative air to this area. So therefore, please join us this Friday and bring your colleagues for an inspiring and unusual networking dinner. One of the most famous Danes is fairy tale author Hans Christian Andersen, and he actually lived here in Copenhagen 200 years ago. And one may argue that he actually founded the pain research here in Denmark. In the fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea, the queen set out to test the sensitivity of a potential princess. She laid a pea in the bottom of the bed and laid 20 mattresses on the top of that. On this, the princess had to lie all night. In the morning, she was asked how she had slept, and she said, "Oh, very badly," she said. "I have scarcely closed my eyes all night. Heaven knows what was in the bed. But I was lying on something very hard, so I'm black and blue all over my body. It's horrible," she said. Now they knew that it was a real princess, because she has felt the pea through the mattresses. Nobody but a real princess could actually be as sensitive as that. And is that now true? I have to argue. Could it be a chronic pain patient with a severe allodynia? And what is actually the placebo effect of such a test? I mean, getting the kingdom and the prince could be a deal. So I'll leave that for you to discuss the upcoming days, and with that I would like to wish you a very great meeting. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Thomas, for this kind introduction and remembrance of these fairy tales we heard when we were very small. It's my pleasure to invite Judy Turner, President of the International Association of the Study of Pain, for those who are the two people in the room who do not know which this organization is. She will explain it to us. Judy, welcome.
Thanks very much. It's truly an honor and pleasure to be here at this meeting. I'm very excited to see old friends and make some new ones. I wanted to spend just a couple of minutes telling you a little bit about ISP. ISP and EFIC share a commitment to promoting pain research, education, and treatment through collaboration and communication among professionals from multiple disciplines. And I think that's really exemplified in this meeting. ISP is the world's largest multidisciplinary association in the field of pain. It's the world's leading professional forum for pain research, education, and clinical practice, with more than 7,300 members from 133 countries. We have 94 national chapters and 20 special interest groups. EFIC represents 37 of ISP's chapters, and about a third of ISP members live in Europe, so Europe is very important to ISP. ISP publishes 2 leading pain journals, Pain and Pain Reports. Pain Reports just celebrated its first year of publication. All articles in Pain Reports are open access and freely available online. Recently, we have some exciting news. ISP has joined forces with Pain Research Forum. This will enable us to provide ongoing coverage of pain research news, furthering our commitment to serving as a hub of information and resources for the pain community. We're also really excited to work with Relief, a news source about pain research for a more general audience. Access to both PRF and Relief are free, and I hope that you'll visit the ISP website to follow the links to these resources. There are many benefits of membership to ISP. I won't go into all of them here, but I want to emphasize a couple of key benefits. One is reduced rates to register for the World Congress on Pain. More about that in just a minute. But importantly also the opportunity to network with colleagues from around the globe to achieve our mutual goals. I also want to mention ICD-11. ISP has a task force that's been working very hard to develop a systematic classification system for chronic pain conditions for ICD-11. We need your help. I hope that you'll come by the ICD-11 booth to learn a little bit more about ways that you can help us field test this classification system. This is a requirement by the WHO for our application, and we would love to have you participate. ISP and EFIC also partner on a global year. Traditionally, it's been against pain. I'm excited that next year we will have a global year for pain. 2018 will be our global year for excellence in education, in pain education. And we're very excited about this effort. It will be very comprehensive, and we'll start out in January with updated curricula for pain education. Our focus over the course of the year is going to be on patient, professional, public, and government education, as well as pain education research. And finally, as I mentioned, the World Congress, as you know, EFIC and ISP alternate years to offer leading multidisciplinary pain congresses. And next year, we're really excited to bring the World Congress to Boston. We're expecting close to 8,000 delegates, and I hope that every one of you is among them. We'll have plenary speakers from all over the world who are selected both for their speaking expertise as well as their expertise in their topic. And our focus is going to be on topics that interest pain researchers and clinicians alike. We'll have refresher courses that will offer opportunities for in-depth learning on specific topics. And we'll have topical workshops on a broad range of topics. There will also be a lot of opportunities for networking and some fun social events. And last but not least, of course, Boston really has something for everyone, regardless of your interest. Everyone loves Boston, and I know you will too. If you've never been there, you're in for a treat. I'm really confident that this year's EFIC Congress is going to leave each of you inspired and eager to start planning your attendance at the World Congress in a year. I hope you'll come by and visit ISP in our booth 29 to learn more about next year's Congress, or to learn more about ISP, or if you're not a member, to join ISP. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have a wonderful experience here at this meeting. I know I will.
Thank you very much, Judy, for these kind words, and I really can confirm we are in a very firm and friendly collaboration, and we hope to do many projects together in the future. Thank you, Judy. It's now my pleasure to invite Professor Luis Garcia Larrea to the stage, and then also Michel Fazola, and for the IPSA Award, and Professor Luis Villanueva for the award, the IPSA Award. So I give the word to you. Thank you.
Just a very difficult task to just give the two prizes that we, if I can, the EFIC and the committee, and together with Professor Villanueva, who is the head of the committee for this prize, were extracted from the hundreds of good papers that have been published in the European Journal of Pain. So it was a pleasure to select these two. It was a difficult pleasure, but the reasons were quite straightforward. In the case of the basic paper from Dr. Bannister, Dr. Bannister started with a nice working hypothesis, and she ended up to finding very nice things different from her working hypothesis, and she dealt with this in a very elegant way, and we were seduced by that. And in the case of Dr. Van Velzen, he dared to present negative results that go straight against the mainstream of what is thought about the functional imaging in complex regional pain syndrome, and he did it also very elegantly, and he again proves that in the European Journal of Pain we are eager to accept negative results if these negative results help to advance the pain science. So thank you to the two, and congratulations to the two laureates.
So we regret that the second winner couldn't make it, but we will look forward that he receives his prize. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, yes, yes, of course.
Well, first of all, thank you so much to Professor Wells, to the faculty, and to the organizers for inviting me here to explain you a little bit something about the IPSA Foundation for Scientific Research. I guess many of you already know what the foundation is doing, but please give me the possibility to give you some more details. Well, first of all, the IPSA Foundation for Scientific Research has been founded in 2012 by IPSA Institute Biochimique, that is a pharmaceutical company based in the Italian part of Switzerland, in Lugano, very close to Italy,
with, let's say, a very ambitious goal. This goal for the foundation is to become a reference point for the promotion and advancement of science through the collaboration with the academic and scientific board, through the collaboration with hospital, physicians, and citizens. And this is done at different levels with different activities, such as scientific forums, educational events, fellowships, and awards in different therapeutic areas, including, of course, the pain area, that from the beginning has been one of the main focus of the foundation. And as said, this year in particular, we have awarded to young researchers for their publications in the field of pain research and pain therapy. In any case, for any further information, you can visit the site, the website of the IPSA Foundation, because these awards are, let's say, ready for the young researchers every year. Thank you so much again for the attention.
Thank you very much indeed. And this is, now we're at a very important moment of this opening ceremony, because those who attend our meetings know that we also hand over very important prizes. We just had the prize of IPSA, and I want to talk to you about a very large grant of 200,000 euros, which are spent since 2004, every 2 years, to the most promising scientific work on a research level, clinical level, for our next generation. This is the ECK grant. The ECK grant stands for the EFIC Grünenthal grant. So it's a collaboration, and it's because of the generous support of the company Grünenthal, who put in place this grant, that we are able to hand over very important grants, which is, of course, not for personal use, and I can assure you that it's for supporting research projects, ideas, and to help and lift young people to the next stage. And this has been done since 2004. And maybe I should ask, are there any former grants receivers here in the room? I'm sure there are. Could you please stand up? Those people who ever had a grant here of the ECK. So you see that meanwhile, several of these people are in our main program. These people evolved, and they had their, are continuing their careers. So nowadays we have plenary speakers who were former recipients of the ECK Award. So we are very proud that we really succeed to select the best people. And it's thanks to the hard work of the research committee. It's a huge task, because meanwhile, it's not about selecting 6 winners out of 10 applications. No, this is a very tough job. It's all, we get many applications, and it takes a lot of time to read and to judge and to peer review all these applications. And that's the reason we will now hand over to the winners of the 2016 award, because we are having our Congress now in 2017. This should stimulate a platform of discussion between young researchers. This should move things forward, and we are very happy that we are able to continue this collaboration on the ECK grant. May I ask the chairman of the our research committee, Professor Luis Villanueva, on stage, and may I invite also Dr. Iman Wild, Head of Global Medical Affairs from the company Grünenthal, and it's your honor to announce the winners of this edition of the ECK grants.
Thank you, but it's a great pleasure for me to announce the name and the subject of the winners of this new EFIC Grunenthal grant. But before, I would like to thank all the members of our research committee for the huge amount of work which is done during the evaluation of all these projects. I must say that the last 3 times that we have got this complex task of evaluation, there was increasing a huge number of applications. So thanks to the varied skills of more than 10 people of this research committee, we've been able to cover all the areas of pain research and do the job of evaluation. And also, as has been told, it's very difficult to choose. For instance, in this year, we had something like almost 70 applications, and as you will see, we have chosen 6 winners. So, as you have also realized, for those who are not aware, some of them they're so good that they join a sort of stellar club of senior EFIC Grunenthal scientists, and these fellows will participate in the symposium of EFIC Grunenthal symposium that I will invite you to come and see the new findings that will be presented on next Thursday. So let's go to the winners of this year. And I'd like to ask to come for the first winner, Dr. Susan Becker from Mannheim, Germany. And the project is Altered Cognitive Emotional Networks in Chronic Pain, the modulatory role of dopamine. The second winner is Piero Chiacchiaretta from Chieti, Italy, and the project is intersubject variability of the endogenous analgesia expressed by conditioning pain modulation and phenotypical characterization of the nociceptor profile in humans. This is a very long title, but very nice. The third one is Dr. Jukie Kosterman, and unfortunately, well, fortunately, she was unable to come because of recent childbirth. So he not only produced a very nice project, but also a daughter of 6 weeks ago. The next one is Dr. Max Ortiz Catalan from Gothenburg, Sweden, and the title of the project is Phantom Motor Execution as Treatment of Phantom Limb Pain, the neuronal correlates.
Congratulations. Can you show your prize?
Now, I'd like to invite Roy Treister from Haifa, Israel, and the title of the project is Can Training Increase Reporting Accuracy and Study Power in Human Pain Trials?
So, it's up to you. Congratulations.
And last one is Dr. Anne-Priscille Trouvin from Paris, France, and the title is Rheumatoid Arthritis, Pain Inhibitory Pathways, Rapid.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and last but not least, I just like to tell you also that all this complex process of selection, evaluation, and all the things that takes a lot of time couldn't be done without the logistic support of Gabby Erkens and all his team, her team. And I would like to say, in the name of all the members of our research committee, our deep gratitude to her excellent work, not only in terms of efficacy, but also for her human qualities. And we are deeply, deeply grateful for this wonderful, huge work that she has done during all these years. Thank you very much, Gabby. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Gabby.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine she's here, take it away. I should come and want you like yesterday. When you always try, I'm sorry, 'cause I'm
I hope you I really hope you're all happy. We had a discussion yesterday about unhappiness, and then I said, come to the opening ceremony and you will hear another atmosphere. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being present. I want to thank all collaborators on this for the success of this best meeting ever this year in the world on pain. And it's not finished yet. Please, we are in a very organized country. Copenhagen is a Scandinavian country, and what I learned, everything is well organized and people listen to what they're said. I noticed this when I tried to get in with my wife. So we will have a last song. And please be seated. You will be invited to the reception, but not by me, by the band. And they will take you and guide you to the reception. Remember what I said in the beginning. My motto will be the European Pain Federation on the move. And with this sentence, I want to thank you very much and close the session. Please remain seated until they ask you to stand up and follow them. Thank you very much indeed.
yeah. Alright.